Okay. Lighting. Talk about lighting for a moment. Many types of lighting. You have fluorescence or CF. CF's a compact fluorescent, same thing. Okay. You have incandescent, the screw-in round light bulbs, the cheap ones. You have LEDs. And you have halogens. Okay, CF light bulbs, fine. They put out a lot of light, they're cheap. They don't get too hot. I don't like them. Okay, I'm not going to get into the reasons why. Just, to me, they represent what's wrong with the environmental green movement in the United States right now. If you really want to know, if there's enough comments saying, what the hell, show me why, I'll post it. I'll make a little video and post it. But we're just not going to go there right now. I'm just not a big fan of CFs. If I ever decide to take some photographs of them, they screw up white balance like mad. Throwing that out. Incandescents. United States, they are going to be illegal soon. Within the next 5-10 years, I'm not going to mess with that. LEDs aren't quite there yet. The lighting in this room right now is LED lighting. You can tell from the video, there's some pretty bright lighting in this room. The white balance isn't messed up with these LEDs. They're just really big and bulky. Okay, these are LED floodlights in this room. I don't want that in this case. Then we're left with halogen. I had a leftover light kit from when I put lighting under the cabinets in my kitchen. I'm using it in the spray booth. It is halogen, 60 watts, 320 watt light bulbs. I plugged it in a few minutes ago. It puts out more than enough light for what I'm doing. It's going to be fine. It's low profile. It's perfect for what I'm trying to do. Okay? Now let's start talking about design. I'll sketch out my design for you in a few minutes and explain a few things, but I want to give you some ideas on how to design something like this. Okay, the design process. Let's talk about this real quick. I'm building this thing around a furnace filter. Okay, that's going to determine the basic size of the cabinet. This is a 25 by 25 furnace filter, so my work surface is going to be 25 by 25. Fairly large work surface. That's almost 4 square feet of space. It's under a square meter, but it's still very large. Okay. Since everything's built around that, the dimensions have to be based upon that. I'm using 1/2 inch plywood. So for the base of this thing, what I did is I doubled the width of my plywood. 1/2 plus 1/2 is 1. And I added 1 inch to both dimensions. So a 25 by 25 furnace filter means the base should be 26 by 26. That way I can have the 4 panels on each side fall perfectly flush with the base of my design. Now, I'm going to stop for a minute. We're going to move the camera so I can actually start writing this stuff out and show you what I'm doing. So back in a sec. Okay, now, we said we're designing this on a 25 by 25 filter. Okay? I already said that means the base of this thing is going to have to be 26 by 26. That's to account for the width of the plywood, an extra 1/2 inch in all dimensions. Okay? Now, what I wanted to do is for the sides, basically, the shape I wanted for the sides looked like this. Okay? I'm going to make the sides the 26 inches too. Okay? That way the side runs all along the base completely from front to rear. Alright? Now if I did that, then the front here wouldn't have to be that wide. It would have to be 25 inches, and so would the back. Okay? That way they insert fine in between these two sides over here. So basically, here's what you do. Okay, for the side, you take the size of your furnace filter, which was 25, and you add 2 times the thickness of the plywood. Okay, for the base, the width and the height of my filter was 25. If you're using a 20 by 25, one would be 20, one would be 25, and you'd have to do this for each dimension. I'm doing 25 plus 2 times the thickness also. Okay, and I'm doing that to both sides. Alright, now for the front and back. Because they're going to fit between the 2 sides, I don't have to add anything to the dimension here. So they are just going to be front is going to be 25 and the back is going to be 25 inches. Okay. Height. That was a slight problem. I had to think about this for a little bit because the fan I bought was pretty tall. Okay, and I needed to add 2 or 3 inches to that. So what I ended up doing is the height of the front ended up being 9 inches. Okay, that would account for the height of the fan, a couple of inches clearance for allow the fan to collect the air, and then enough room to put in the furnace filter and the pegboard I'm putting over the furnace filter for the base. Okay, it turned out the furnace filter and the pegboard came out to be 1.1 inches thick. Really nice, because 1.125 inches is 1 1/8 inches. Okay, so that came out really nice. That was important, so I'd know where to put the braces to hold the filters. Okay, now this back dimension right here, I went with 34 inches. This thing's going to be pretty tall. Okay, I wanted to give sufficient room for the air to flow, even in the back of the case, so the air could flow in and go down if it needs to. Okay, so I made her pretty tall. Take off 9 inches off the back, and then you have the final height up here of my workspace. So 34 minus 9 is 25 inches. I have 25 inches of workspace in the back. Okay, so that's the basic design. Now if I were to draw this out flat as sort of an exploded view, here we have the base, which is 26 by 26. The front ended up being 25 here, and this dimension here is 9. The side here. Okay, this dimension here was 26. This dimension here was 34. This here I was playing by ear, and so was I with this part right here. That was played by ear too. I just kind of come in here and cut a notch off. I thought it would look better with a notch cut off, so that's why I did that. The back here, this was 25 inches this way, and I made this 34 inches also. Okay, and of course this side over here mirrors this side here, with this dimension being 26 and this dimension here being 34. Okay,